Hey y'all, Ranch and Rach has asked me to put some more cattle panel in for trellis, and so I mean you can do this. Roots and Refuge farms we watch a lot. They do this with some T-posts that they put in the ground, and then they zip tie this to the T-post, and then that gives them their arch where they want to. So since we already have these raised beds and they have nice little area there right next to the cinder block, what I do is just basically chop this last piece off, so I have me some nice long prongs, and then these just stick those in the dirt, and then I do some wiring to keep them from flying away and stuff. But anyways, that's what I'm going to do today, right now. So really all you need to do to cut this stuff, it cuts pretty easy. If you have a pair of bolt cutters, that'll work too. You can just snip them off or whatever. But if not, I get these at Harbor Freight, put them on my grinder, and then just cut right through. So let me show you what that looks like. Already have eye protection. These Wiley X sunglasses do a great job of protecting my eyes. They're ANSI rated and all that kind of good stuff. I'll take a shotgun to the face. Your face won't be any good afterwards, but the glasses will be reusable. All right, here we go. That's it. I'll do the other side, then I'll be ready to take this thing over and stick it in the ground. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome. All right, here's side 2. So I'd like to thank Jess and sweet Miah for giving us the idea of these cattle panels. Also, today's their anniversary. Rach just showed me something on Instagram. Anyways, Roots and Refuge Farm. They got a lot of great information. Yeah, be sure and check them out. And then come right back here to the Dirt Ranch and like and subscribe and share and all that kind of stuff. All right, see ya. That's it. Let me show you what it looks like. So literally, I just shoved those sharp points right into there. And then what I'll do later on, actually I think we might be putting a panel here. I'm not sure. We're still trying to figure out the rest of it. We might be putting panels in over here and then moving all these grow bags up against those panels. If I put it over here, then I will be putting some T-posts in. Yeah, so then later on, what I'll do is I'll come through here, like in this, and I will lift this block up where the rebar is. I'll lift that block up, and then I got some wire that I'll run underneath the block, and I'll wrap it around and tie it to the trellis, to the cattle panel, and then that'll keep it in place. And then like in the corners here, I will tie those together. I don't know, I'm thinking about, I've got several thoughts going on here. We're talking about doing a greenhouse. We're going to put a greenhouse in back here, right here behind me. But we also saw that Roots and Refuge Farm, again, we're just copying whatever they do. They put a high tunnel in, and a high tunnel is basically a ginormous, well, theirs is like, I don't know, 25 feet by 60 feet, covered greenhouse thing that will allow you to roll the sides up so that ventilation will go through there. Anyways, but the frame of it is just an arch. And so I'm like, we got arches. So I'm thinking maybe if we get that board, I could rearrange some of those arches over there so they're covering the bed instead of covering the from one bed to the next, and then get some white shade cloth or plastic or whatever. It doesn't get super cold here. I mean, we get down to freezing once or twice. We're in Central California. I think we're 9B is our growing zone. So it doesn't really get cold here, super cold, but having a place that would be warm enough that we could start seeds and start, maybe even start growing them in the dirt, putting them in the dirt early. That might be something that we do to help us through until we get the greenhouse going, or until we figure some more stuff out. Anyways, I'm always looking for quick, easy fixes for stuff, and we're like halfway there with this setup behind me. So who knows, maybe we'll do something like that. All it would cost is tarp and time. I got time right now. Hopefully we won't be in this situation forever, but who knows. All right, gotta get back at it. Are you ready for the first bounty? Oh. Give me that bounty. Baby bounty. What do we got there, dear?
I can't remember what they called this, but it's a radish. I don't know. Maybe your knife would do better.
We have the recording duties.
You.
Me?
You. Ooh, sounds crisp.
Oh, that's so good. What?
No.
None?
Oh.
Sweet. Spicy. Nicey. Good radish. Spicy.
Is it? It was just the cheapy Walmart envelope of stuff that we bought that one day.
Very good. What do we got there?
Sweet mint, lavender, Greek oregano,
Oregano?
and basil. I don't think anymore I'll buy a plant. I think I'll always do seeds. See how nice and strong they look. And this is lemon thyme right here.
Stop. Lemon thyme.
We got garden sage, it's looking happy.
Can't touch this.
Rosemary over here. Here's the English thyme. And we have lipstick pepper, trick-you jalapeno, and these are all Dr.
Cheese.
Sweet cheese, these three here. And then this is, you've got the sign next to you.
Green zebra.
Yeah. And then I'm going to fill the middle with a couple more peppers when they get big enough. There's a couple roses Megan saved from Sam's Club. I don't know if they're going to make it or not. They were just $5. We're trying to encourage life, but I don't know. They may be too far gone.
Si se puente.
I don't know what that means.
You can do it.
Okay. Alright. Oh, these three are Berkeley. Tie-dyed Berkeley. They're maybe kind of fun. We have a Black Beauty eggplant. That one's called Candyland. I bought that one specifically for Megan. They're supposed to be sweet little tomatoes. Indeterminate. I'm hoping they'll grow up on this vine, but they're actually kind of small.
Oh, they got a bunch of blossoms on them.
Yeah.
Cherry tomatoes?
I think so. And here we have Aunt Ruby. These for Aunt Ruby. And I believe Aunt Ruby are the green ones. The green tomatoes, not necessarily for fried green tomatoes, they just green when they mature.
They just stay green. They never, they start green, they finish green, they eat green,
Aunt Ruby, I did
but
this
they're
whole
sweet.
Pot, this whole section, Aunt Ruby. Those are both Boston pickling cucumbers. I'm hoping they're going to grow real big and go over the top. And then we're going to fill in here with peppers and tomatoes. Hopefully soon, this week. Tomatoes are just need to get a little stronger. The far corner is Early Girl. We got that from Fresno State. This one here we got from Fresno State, Black Prince. Here's another Dr. W, another Berkeley. I think that's another Trick You over there, or maybe Lipstick.
It is a Jimmy
Oh yeah, those are supposed to be Mardello.
Bello.
Those are supposed to be super good.
That is El Eden. Is that what it is? What does that say?
remember.
El Eden.
El Eden, yes, it's supposed to be super hot. This one's El Eden as well. Here's a Cherokee purple tomato. And that was Fresno State. Over there's Fresno State. I don't see what it says.
It is a new
girl. And these are Thorburns. I think both of them. I'm not sure. Let's see what that one says. Oh, that's an Aunt Ruby. Another Aunt Ruby. I guess I got carried away with Aunt Ruby. Down at your feet. Down at your feet. To the south of you are 4 Anaheim chilies, and then 2 cayenne, and then also on the ground down there is 6 Granny Cantrells, which are red, kind of striped. And these have doubled in size since we put them in here yesterday. Look at how happy they are.
So happy.
That is ridiculous. Maybe I should move those other peppers out too.
These grow bags are super cool because you can water the crud out of them. I mean, like yesterday whenever I was watering it, here I'll point it out to you. I was watering it and I put so much water in over here in the bag that it ran out underneath the rocks out here. And so that was cool because it didn't keep the water in the container so it could rot the roots. We just watched a video on like 10 or 8 or whatever many, a bunch of reasons why tomatoes fail, and overwatering was one of them.
Alright, and these are 2 more Granny Cantrell. I did all the Granny Cantrells yesterday. Look how much bigger they are than I put them in yesterday.
I know, it's crazy.
They were all
you
level
buried them
with
deep.
the dirt. So they've had that much growth. That's a pepper from Fresno State. Put it out too early, it's not happy. And this is a borage or something from Fresno State.
Borage.
And
like
these are both zucchinis. And they are truly just not acting happy here. I don't know. I'm going to finish planting. That's really why I'm watering right now. I'm going to finish planting tonight this whole bed. I'm going to put in my paste tomatoes for canning. I think the brand I bought was Amish Paste from Baker Creek. I think that's what I got. So I'm going to put some of them in here. Trying to get this wet so everybody's happy going in. Fill this bed up with peppers. And in that corner I think I'm going to put an eggplant with the steak. Over there's another unhappy rose that we're trying to save. And over there it shot out a little bit of green, so it might be trying to live.
Hey, that's new.
A new arch. Yeah, I
wonder who put that up.
Almost all of my seeds from Baker Creek came up, and so that's great. But now I have a bunch, and so we had to add another cattle panel here for more tomatoes, and we're going to actually have to put some into the ground, I think, because I can't get any more bags, and these beds are going to be full. And all the varieties that we bought are indeterminate, and so they can go to 10 feet tall, so we can't just put them in the bed. They'll fall over and be a mess.
Crowd out everything else.
So good problem to have, I guess. And then this bed,
good problem for you guys.
This bed is more cucumbers. I have a couple of Boston pickling, and then I have a couple of Japanese long cucumbers that I bought also from Baker Creek. And those are the freebie cabbages. I canned a bunch right. I actually know right when it happened, March 13th, when all that mess started. I picked up from my grocery pickup some cabbage to make sauerkraut. And after I did the sauerkraut, we put the cores in the compost pile, and boom, these babies came up. I water the compost pile to try to keep everything in there breaking down, and they decided they weren't ready to die yet. And actually their cousin is trying to come along over there too. We've got another one. It's really too warm for cabbage, but we thought we'd give it a whirl. Why not? It was a freebie. But when those peppers need to start coming in, if that's not doing anything more than that, those babies are coming out because
Got to go.
we got to bring in the peppers.
Is this something over here?
These
right up against the edge here. You see that?
yeah. So in the beginning, when we were just wanting to get a crop in before we put in all the tomatoes and stuff, I threw some seed in here, some kale, some really quick crops, and they just decided to come up just this week, and it's been several weeks. It was the very first thing I put in these beds after you made them. So yeah. So I'm going to start putting in some more tomatoes. That's what's the plan. And then I'll finish. You should show them the tomatillos. They are just so happy over there. Mm-hmm. The onions are looking good. I'm really happy with our in-ground beds. I thought that our dirt was kind of crappy. Show them the kale. I'm going to pick kale. We're having kale salad tomorrow for dinner. Just everything's coming up roses over there, so go check it out.
All right. You heard her. Let's go check it out. So there's all that going on. And some onions. Onion. And weeds. So we didn't get the black tarp that we was going to put down here, the black weed barrier, and added the dirt and stuff. That didn't happen this weekend. That's okay. We had some other things that came up that kept us busy. But look at these beasts. That is crazy. I swear yesterday I was out here and they were like the size of this little thing. And they're just little bitty. And then I came out this morning and was blown away about how big they are. Super big. Getting ready to have a nice sunset. All kinds of stuff growing over here. And then the tomatillos are down here on the end. Look at them things. Loving it. And this is just pretty much mostly just that dirt, regular old dirt ranch dirt. And then I sprinkled some of the grow mix from Stoney's on here. But this is all just dirt from the dirt ranch, and the onions love it. Some big old honking onions already. And this is another kind of a mini compost bin. I put worms in here, and so we alternate feeding this area here, and then the compost over there, which I've got some black tarp for that that I need to put on. And I just filled some sandbags. We just filled some sandbags probably an hour or two ago. Went out to the river where I did some four-wheeling the other day, and we got some sandbags filled, and I'm gonna put the tarp. That thing's shutting down let me switch this around. So I'm gonna put down some tarp on the compost, and then put the sandbags over the top of it. And that way, whatever's in there that is still growing after about 3 months under that tarp will grow no mo. And then I will likely spread all this stuff out to get my tiller on it. So I'll take the bed and knock it down, and then get the tiller, drive the tiller over it and break all that stuff up, because there's still pretty large chunks of horse manure in there that I got from Benny Sanchez, my good friend, and you know, hay and stuff like that, straw, bedding, different things like that, get those things broke up, get them turned over, and maybe I don't know, depending on how much of the good that I have down here, the stony soil, I may mix that into it all and get ready for next year's garden. But yeah, so whenever we water the trees over here, we got trees. Whenever we water the trees, we also water the compost. But once I get the watering, automatic watering drip system in, then there'll be actually a line that goes over there and waters the trees, and will also water the composting area. And so that'll always stay nice and moist. The worms like to have a little bit of moisture in there to operate on, and that's good for breaking stuff down. So it's gonna be pretty neat. And what else? Oh, I got my dad's bench over here. I think I told you guys about that earlier. Anyways, we got a couple of boxes underneath there that's got some fertilizer and stuff for the garden. It's be a little place to store stuff. Sprayed some weeds here the other day. Those things are dying nicely. My brother Mitchell, right there, says to mix the mixture weak so that it will keep, it will ingest more of it. The weed will ingest more of it, and it will completely die. And I did, and so far that is exactly what's happening. So pretty pumped. Did some weeding today. I would have showed you some video of it, but it looked basically like a cyclone. Throwing foxtails all over me. Kind of cleaned up around the implements over there, and did some tilling through the trees over there, and found a large slab of concrete that I did not know was there. And I can't remember why it was there, but at one point, right there, yeah, I guess, yeah, right where those pallets are at, right there, going perpendicular to the street, we had a chicken coop and a tack shed. And in that chicken coop, my brother Vince and I, mostly Vince, built a motorcycle repair shop, and so it was pretty neat. Built a little ramp, pulled the motorcycle up on, and put some cement down in there, which we did not mix the cement correctly, and it just basically fell all apart. But it was fun. We did a lot of work in that shop. But we didn't put any cement out there by the trees, but I sure found it with the rototiller. And that rototiller is double tough because it took some pretty good chunks out of it, and didn't chip or bend or do anything. So yay, John Deere. All right, well, this video has gotten real long. It was supposed to be a little bit of a update to the garden, and so we did update that garden, and now it's time to sign off because we're like 20 minutes long in this thing already. So if you like this kind of stuff, like, subscribe, share, all that kind of good stuff. We appreciate it, and thank you for stopping by the Dirt Ranch, and you're always welcome to come by. Hopefully we'll have some content for you on a regular basis. I kind of did some quick ones last week. You guys like that? I had a bunch of them coming all at once. Anyways, there's likely to be a small break. I'll put this one up tonight. This is Sunday night. I don't know if there is a day associated, like a number of the day that's associated with this day. Probably somewhere in somebody's calendar that people keep track of that stuff. This is just like another day in quarantine, lockdown. Anyhow, hope you guys are well. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time on the Dirt Ranch. All right, see ya.